How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Off the Top with Eric Pearson Red. I am your host, Eric, and again, joining me today are.
Your boy P.
It's your boy Red.
What's up, fellas?
What's the deal, man? What's the deal?
Chilling, chilling.
All good, all good.
All
Um,
good, all good.
yeah, we wanted to do episode last week, but scheduling got in the way. Uh, so this episode's going to be coming out November 1st. Did you guys do any Halloween parties or anything yet? Because if I'm right, this past weekend, today being Sunday, this past weekend was when the adults
Oh,
were celebrating.
yeah, for sure. No, not me, not me. I was stuck
No?
at work, bro.
Oh,
Stuck at work, and
yeah, that
then
sucks.
everybody tried to get me to uh party between 8:30 and 11:30, but I felt like
Mm,
once I would have got there, they would have been toe up. I would have been trying to rush it and then trying to get back to work at the same time.
yeah, that's the
So,
worst.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so I
just
had
had
to
a
pass on it.
yeah, I just had a kid party. No adult
That's
stuff.
beautiful.
No adults.
What about you,
No.
Brody? I know you got into something.
Yeah, I got invited to a costume party. That was fun. Went as Pablo Escobar.
That's
Um,
tough.
but the wig didn't work out. It was hot. Do you guys have you guys? You probably never worn a wig, but wigs are hot as shit. Like give the ladies with long hair some credit. They can handle that heat.
yeah,
Um,
That's all that
so
one post that lady in the club when she pulled her lace front up under that
in
fan.
front of that little air machine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that shit's real. So yeah, I didn't wear the wig, so I was rocking this really thick ass luxurious mustache
Okay.
and like a Hawaiian shirt. So I ended up just looking like a gay nightclub owner from Miami. Like, but that was cool too.
Oh,
That was cool too. Just you know had bands. I like
out there living a
yeah
life, man. Living
yeah
a life.
yeah. It was
I
fun.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I need to
Plus, I mean,
set some
like
time out.
when at those like adult functions, like there are no kids, so it's like sweet, because come this Tuesday, they're gonna be a bunch of little kids on the street
Flooded.
making all sorts of
Flooded.
noise. Like I had to get that spirit gum, which is the adhesive they use for the facial hair and shit. So I had to
Hmm.
go to Spirit Halloween, and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself because all these little kids running around, like it was
Right,
just
right.
just as making all this havoc.
hmm
Um, but yeah, so not too many things happen this week. The big one that people are tweeting all about right now are the results of the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou fight that happened in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. James, are you aware of this going down?
Yes, yes. I saw first. I heard it from P. I
Mm,
saw it on his Facebook, and he was like, "Man, this shit is rigged, bro. Fuck it."
yeah,
And then I had to finally watch it, and I never saw a person get knocked down and still win.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could see if he manhandled him the rest of the match.
Mm,
They was really going blow for blow, but it looked like he was winning the whole time. And
Francis was the
yeah,
lazy.
yeah.
yeah, that shit pissed me off. I watched it. He even said, "I'm the champion. I should have won this or something like that." He said that shit, and
Mm,
I felt the same way too. So,
Yeah, I watched the
yeah,
fight
oh,
from as soon as it shit started, and the first couple rounds it looked like they were just filling each other out, and then I think in round four, 3 or 4, he got knocked down. And then
mhm.
from then, it looked like Fury was just trying to clinch to get his bearings back for like a couple rounds.
yeah.
Because
You could tell that he was tired. Like
For sure.
he's not used to going the distance on his fights when he was in
Yeah.
the MMA. So I think that was a big adjustment for him trying to, okay, don't gas myself out too early.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's why there was a lot of the clinching at the end.
yeah, but Tyson, he I think around round 6 or 7, he was trying to clinch and he actually fell again, hugging his ass. Like he fell and then got on his knees like towards his waist, no homo. But
Did they count it as a knockdown?
uh
No,
Okay.
probably just uh, lost his balance.
But the fact
Yeah.
that he was lunging towards him made it look like Nagano was basically in control of the fight as far as
Yeah,
pace and all that shit. But they
he was.
proclaim Fury hit him like 10 more times. But a 10 more hits should not equate to fucking
A knockout.
96 to a 93 round.
Right,
Mm,
right.
because the round that they gave to Ngannou was just a 94, 95, so it was just 1 point.
Right.
So how the hell
Yeah.
do a knockdown only equate for 1 point? And then that shit was. I heard that he had ties in Saudi Arabia. Fury did. The reason why
Mm,
they were saying that the judges kind of was, favoring
in his
him.
favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the reason that there was, because I mean, you can I think there was favoritism. You're right, but I think the reason that was in place is because Tyson Fury is, I mean, even before the
White.
fight, he is the heavyweight champion.
Oh.
He's been in the sport his entire career, whereas Francis Ngannou, this is his first fight. Uh,
Yeah, first pro
I
fight.
mean,
Yeah.
he's been in the UFC. He left that because he had uh, he didn't want to get paid as little as he was. He was trying to raise, the amount of equity that the fighters were going to get from the UFC, and Dana White was like, no, line in the sand. And so Ngannou, got to give him credit. He was the face of the heavyweight UFC fighter, and he's like, all right, then I'm going to go to boxing. And his first fight, I think I think the judges a little bit were kind of treating it more like an exhibition instead of a legit. This is this counts.
Okay.
So I think that was the reason why it kind of leaned in Tyson Fury's favor. But if you look at I think photos came out today of them after the fight. Tyson Fury's got a busted lip and a black eye. Francis Ngannou looks the same. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so yeah, I think Ngannou I think did get robbed, but hey, if this is your first fucking boxing fight and you do that to the heavyweight champion, you got a long career ahead of you. So if Ngannou sticks with it and doesn't, try to go back in the UFC, like he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I did hear some stories. They were saying that how would you feel if an MMA fighter came and beat the heavyweight champion in the first fight? So they were saying the
Mm,
judges wasn't gonna let that happen, regardless.
yeah.
The only
Yeah,
way
that's
that he
why
was gonna
Mm,
win is to see if he was gonna knock him out.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I think there was a lean towards Tyson Fury. And
But
I got to
that's
be
a
honest, like
heavy ass lean though, dog.
I got to be honest, I am a Tyson Fury fan. He
Really.
has had some of my favorite heavyweight fights since the Mike Tyson days. His fights against Deontay Wilder are fucking like incredible. Like the dude has an iron chin. The dude was knocked out, like he was out, and then he comes back and he beats Wilder. Fucking insane. And he's got one of the best stories. Like it's hard to root against Tyson Fury when you learn about his addiction, gaining all this weight, and then him just one day going, you know what, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna be heavyweight champion, and then he fucking does it. Like the dude is a winner. But not at that fight.
And then another thing, they said it was skewed with the not the who was the dude you just said?
Waller.
Wilder. They were
Deontay
saying it was
Wilder.
skewed with that fight because how did you get knocked down twice and then becomes a draw? So it's some fishy shit going on with Fury's fights.
It's the white man handicap.
No,
He had a
I,
+2 in that bitch because you get knocked down twice. So basically, if Ngannou would have knocked him down twice, it would have been a draw, just like Wilder's. They is not gonna let.
no,
They putting Fury on the fucking pedestal. He is not
but
about to lose.
there is a legit thing with, okay, do you have accurate punches? Are you landing? Okay. And the thing is, like I said, Francis Ngannou was winded at the end of that fight. Like everyone was like, "Oh, he threw a Superman punch." That shit didn't hit anything. So I mean, like, if you are tired at the end of the fight, not throwing any punches after a knockdown, but steadily you are getting hit and you are getting shots landed on you. Sorry, but even though it looks like you are, not, you know, uh, running away and you're standing there taking it, if you're still taking hits, you're still taking hits.
They
But
said it was
again,
that soft ass jab, that little
I
backhand bullshit that he was
But
doing.
that
hold
shit
on.
counts.
That's what Floyd Mayweather do. He
Yeah,
tapped the fuck out you to build the score from all punches
yeah.
landed.
It,
He
it,
does it a
it's
lot.
it's a way to. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
way to
when he
score
got
points.
older in his career, in the beginning, the first 20, 25 fights, he
Tyson
was knocking motherfuckers out.
Tyson Fury's older. I mean,
Yeah.
as a
He
heavyweight,
look
as a
old.
rule, yeah, as a rule, as a heavyweight, you have to, get knockouts. Because I mean, these guys are giants. Tyson Fury's like 6'6", 6'8". He's tall as shit. Like he's
Wait,
a
that's a rule?
yeah. No. For heavyweights, it's like you have to be in there ready to go for a knockout.
Okay.
You're not going to win just on points alone, just from body shots and
You don't
both guys
say.
standing.
So
So
how
what
so
happened?
how so how did Fury win? Is
What
what
happened?
is what he said. How did Fury win?
I just fucking explained it. Like
I mean,
even though
he
you,
landed a lot more jabs. I can't give him that, but
that's what I'm
that shit
saying.
was
At the
soft as
end of
shit.
if at the end of 4 rounds you're not throwing any punches, you're throwing like 5 punches each round, but the other guy's landing 10 on you, you're losing those rounds.
But I think he only
Even if you did get a
landed.
knockdown.
And let me pull this shit up because I think he only landed like 10 more hits.
Do you know the exact points of a knockdown? How much does those?
It was just a
You know,
10-8 round.
it was that close from a knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Again, like I'm not trying to say that Ngannou didn't get robbed. I'm just saying like I understand why the judges didn't want to give it to Ngannou. And again, like it honestly is surprising that they did treat this like a real fight because I was watching it like it was an exhibition. Like to me it didn't look like both guys are putting it all out there,
All right. So they said Fury landed 71 of his 223 punches, while Ngannou only managed to connect with 59 out of 231. So Fury landed 12 more punches to get the win
and he threw less.
by like
So his
7.
percentage is higher.
Yeah. That matters.
Yeah. I just peeped that. The second you said he threw less, that means your percentage is higher. So you winning on two different ends.
Yeah. So, but again, I mean, it was super close. It could have easily gone to Ngannou. He won by 1 point. But yeah, I think the reason why it was kind of skewed towards Fury is because he's been in boxing his whole life. But yeah, boxing is notorious for having kind of fishy shit going on.
Well, the whole boxing world mad at that shit.
Yeah.
I
So
see a
I'm
lot of
trying.
motherfuckers saying that was some bullshit, like professional fighters.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what instance. I think it was with Roy Jones Jr. He was playing in the Olympics and he beat the fuck out of a dude. And I think it was a Ukrainian fighter, and they gave it to him. And like the
What?
world of boxing was like, absolutely not. Roy Jones Jr. was murdering this man. He was looking at the corner, telling you to throw the fight. Throw the towel, and he ends up losing. So that, like, again, boxing is notorious for having fishy shit going on. Bet at
That's
your
beyond
own
fishy.
discretion.
Have they ever like pulled it back and said, you know what, we misjudged?
No.
Mm-mm.
Never.
No.
It's not like in the NBA you'll have
That's what I
refs
was trying to say.
you'll have
Yeah,
refs coming out after like, oh yeah, we missed this call. This. But the thing is, even when the NBA does that, it's not like, okay, we're gonna change it in
it's for the
the
win. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
we're gonna
for.
we're gonna change it. It's like, no, it's just saying we admit that we were wrong.
Okay, okay.
Which
So
is kind of bullshit.
I was going to say I was going to put this in perspective of the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight, where obviously that fight was stopped because Mayweather was beating Mayweather was beating Conor's ass, and the referee stepped in and stopped the fight because if not, Conor was on the way to get knocked out. It was in this way, it was the other way around, where Ngannou was basically looking like he was in control, but I mean, it went 10 rounds. So by round 7 on fourth, they was pretty much just hugging the whole time.
Mm.
So it wasn't like, oh, Nagano had a little extra pep in his step and was still throwing haymakers. It was kind of slowing down after a while.
Hmm.
So it was still them soft ass fucking jabs that wasn't doing shit because uh, Fury, he wasn't even throwing straight jabs. He was throwing backhand taps. So I guess that's where they was counting those little 12 hits from.
Those count. Any connection count.
If you throw it
Yeah.
and it lands, it
Motherfucker
counts.
kissed on the nose and he
Damn.
won by 12 hits. So he threw
Hey,
he threw 8 less punches and hit 12 more times to get the win.
again, there's, like I said, it's
And I think that was for his belt too, because when he won, they gave him his
Yeah,
belt. So
yeah.
they was
This
for
this
sure
is
for
grinding
not
Pete
man, he was
Grievous.
man, not that thing was hell no. They was not about to let this man lose his championship belt to an
what I'm
MMA fighter
saying.
in his first fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell, see this shit was see this why people
Cool.
don't fucking watch heavyweight boxing anymore. Like that
It
shit's
was it,
fucking fake. They
it
call it
was
the
the
new
coolest.
WWE.
Well, the thing is, now there's not really I mean, I think I can only name like a handful. You got Anthony Joshua, you got Usyk,
His scary ass ain't about to fight Fury either.
you got Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Who was that one? Garcia, the one that knocked out Tyson Fury. Was it Tyson Fury? No, that was Anthony Joshua. But yeah, I mean, there's not many heavyweights out there that can attract. Hopefully, Ngannou changes that. That'll be, like I said, if Ngannou sticks with it, that'll be cool.
Okay. Okay.
It's tough.
Okay.
Did y'all bet on that game though before we change the subject?
Fuck
Did anybody
no.
bet?
Hell no, that'd be retarded. Like
I'm
no
a
lie,
bet man. I like to throw bets out there every
that'd
now
be
and
the
then.
most retarded ass bet you ever had because they were showing the live sports bet as it started, and they had Fury at plus 1,400. So that means you'll have to bet $1,400 to get 100 or some shit like that. And then by the time when he got knocked down, that shit completely flipped, where it was
Yeah.
plus 250 Ngannou. So Vegas was trying to get people to be like, oh, well, let's put money on Ngannou and he's gonna still lose. So Vegas gonna collect that money because people probably was like, oh, let me put $1,000 since it's plus 220, you'll get like 700 or something from
Mm-hmm.
that. And they was like, oh no, we about to snatch that shit. So that's how it happened. That shit fake as fuck.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I don't bet on sports.
Hell no,
I feel
that
like
shit is out of your control.
I feel like it's a slippery slope.
Oh,
Like,
speaking of that, did you see that what was it? Vegas had the Falcons look into the reason why they didn't let their running back Bijan. They didn't tell they didn't list Bijan as sick or injured or some shit. And a lot of people in Vegas told let me start over. Atlanta Falcons, the NFL team, is getting investigated because they didn't list their running back as sick or injured. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who put money on Bijan
are upset.
to play, he never played or he didn't get as many touches or whatever. So a lot of people lost money because they didn't list him as sick because I don't think he got any touches in the first half. So depending on what best they had, whether it was a parlay or some shit saying, oh, he was going to run X amount in the first half, he never got a touch. So
that could be
this is letting you
could
know
be a
that
problem.
Vegas is putting their hands way too deep into sports, where they're like, oh well, if this outcome is whatever, you gotta let everybody know.
So the people that were betting are upset at Vegas for not reporting it, or they're upsetting at the
team.
Falcons.
No, they're mad at the team because they didn't list his
team.
running back as injured or sick. So when
So
people
they
put
couldn't
money
alter
on
their
that,
bet.
yeah, that's
So,
the
I
case,
mean,
they would have blocked it.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I mean, Vegas can't do anything about that if the team doesn't disclose it. I do agree that the team should be investigated. You know, I mean, that's why injured reserve is a thing. You know, you can put your player on the bench and everyone knows. You know.
But yeah, the only reason I brought it up is because people are automatically assuming that all sports are fake because of that. Like
Well,
all these championships are bought, basically.
I don't think they're fake. I just think there's heavy manipulation. I mean, if you have a referee that's getting paid $200,000 a year, and I'm a team worth billions of dollars.
Shit, the black dude that was he
I
got
give
fired.
you that. I'm not gonna lie. I give you that.
No, it was a black referee that got fired because he was his whole family is fans of Boston, and they did some investigation where majority of his games towards Boston they won. Let me see.
Was he like calling foul plays?
I mean, it's hard to tell, but they just did an investigation. Let me see.
Oh, that's a little different though. I get if you was petty for the moment, you know what I'm saying? Calling them ones that sometimes y'all might slip on.
Eric
But
Lewis. They said he
you
was forced to
call
retire.
everyone forced to retire.
Yeah.
The biggest ones from 2007. Tim Donaghy. That guy was legit. Like, if he didn't like you, he was going to bet on the other team when you came to town. You know.
And well, my bad. Go ahead.
No, good.
So with Eric Lewis, he also had a burner account.
Is that the one on Twitter?
That defended himself for all his calls and shit. He was defending himself on calls and shit. But they had dug deeper into it. He's a Boston fan, and his whole family is a Boston fan. So
Yeah.
every time it came to him reffing Boston games,
He would
people
give them
was
the edge.
yeah, like it might be a. I mean, it's not blatant like you're gonna give every call to your team. It's just
Yeah.
you can't give them the
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. You got to be a little. If you're going to be doing that type of shit, again, you're playing with billions of dollars of people betting.
Facts.
Like, you got to be. If you are doing that, you can't make it seem like, oh, this guy's out. Like, Angel Hernandez is the one that I think of, but then again, he does baseball, but everybody hates him. He's an asshole to everybody, you know. So he doesn't make it seem like he's giving one team an edge, you know, for the season.
Gotcha.
But when it
But
came
yeah,
to Lakers games, people was really skeptical because obviously Boston and Lakers had a fucking
rivalry. Yeah.
40, 50 year rivalry and shit like that.
That shit is fucking funny though. Like, calling bullshit ass games and then going on to Twitter afterwards like, man, the refs got this one right, you know, like just typing that
Mhm.
shit. Like just hyping yourself up. Like, who the fuck goes on Twitter and gives any credit to the refs, you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of, did you hear the stuff coming out with University of Michigan scandal?
No, tell
I
me
didn't hear
about it.
any new information, but I heard that they was under investigation and they let some dude go.
Yeah, so they had an, I believe it was an assistant coach. I can't remember his name. This is all I don't have it up, but most of this is coming off the top of my head. So basically, at the end of last year, uh, this assistant that they had hired to be on the team, this guy had been a lifelong University of Michigan fan, like
Right.
so much so that he did not go to University of Michigan. The reason being was because when he looked up and studied the history of great University of Michigan coaches, he found out that all of them went to uh, military academies. So he went to West Point. Like, that is the craziest shit. So he went to West Point, graduated, and then graduated with the intent of joining the University of Michigan coaching staff. So they
Mm.
happily
So
bring
he
him on.
following suit.
Yeah. So like this guy had a plan, you know. So
Right.
he goes to the University of Michigan, and allegedly the stuff, the reason the reason that all this stuff kind of came out is fucking wild. Like, and there's still new information coming in and out. But basically, there was a law firm that was investigating U of M that had access to their emails and shit, right? So they're
Mhm.
doing. We don't know what this firm was doing, but they contacted the NCAA and said, "Hey, you may want to look into. Uh, we were looking for A. We found a lot of B. This B stuff is illegal. You know, you might want to look into University of Michigan." They open an investigation, and apparently, this coach that they had hired on as an assistant was filming other teams' games and getting their calls, you know, their signals for what plays are going to be called on the field, right?
Mm.
Which it's happened before. Like, I think the biggest egregious one was with was it the Patriots that were caught doing it?
I know
The
they
Patriot.
Damn.
deflating balls. I don't know about the.
Well, no, no,
I
no.
remember the deflating balls. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Deflategate. That was when Tom Brady was towards the end. But before that, I believe Patriots had an assistant that was caught in the New York Jets facility recording a practice, which is no, you're not supposed to do that. You know. Um, But apparently, this coach would be going to different games and getting their hand signals for the plays and recording them into the computer, you know, so that they knew what was going to happen before it actually happened in a play. Um, but the reason why this is crazy is because now it's involved other teams, including, I believe, the University of Tennessee. So last year, when University of Michigan was going into the playoff, they were scared of I can't remember what team it was, but they didn't want to go against this team. So this other team that had gotten spanked the week before, University of Michigan approached them, or allegedly this coach approached them and said, "Hey, we will give you the hand signal or the signals that they're going to call against this opponent you're going to see next week." And they said yes. So this team that got fucking beat like 38-7 the week before, fucking pounced like 64-30.
Mm.
The game that they allegedly had gotten these hand signals from.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a team that had gotten wind that Michigan was doing this. And so when they played Michigan, they used dummy hand signals that they knew Michigan had. And then they were still able to beat Michigan, you know. So this whole thing involves other schools. Like there's like to me it sounds like they're the reason you haven't heard too much lately is because they're going to be looking more into this.
Yeah,
But this has the potential of being like a huge, like multiple people will get fired from multiple
most
universities.
definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, like the whole thing
Damn.
is like insane, you know. But yeah, the like P had mentioned that assistant coach that had been, you know, the guy that went to West Point, he has been let go. Like they don't want
Okay.
anything to do with him, you know.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think something like that would have happened ever since I watched Waterboy when he stole the green notebook. I would have never thought that shit would be happening in real life. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean it happens in all sports. Like
Yeah.
God.
go ahead, P.
I was gonna say in college, it really don't matter. Like you can know the whole person's playbook, but the player still got to stop him.
Yeah.
It's not like baseball where like what Coach Prime had said. He was like, it ain't like baseball. Like if you know a curveball is coming, you know how to stop that. In
Yeah,
football, it's still 11 on 11. I can
for
give you my
sure.
whole 10 rundowns for the next 10 plays, but your player is still gonna have to stop it regardless.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
football way different. But I mean, I mean, whatever advantages, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like the last big scandal like this was probably with the Houston Astros with their sign stealing
Yeah,
that they had, where
baseball is really a big deal in baseball.
they had yeah, so there was a team of guys that work for the Houston Astros. They were recording other teams, you know, the catcher will signal with his hands what the
Yeah.
pitcher is going to throw. So they had this down to a science where they had an actual algorithm that would pick up, because in baseball sign stealing is kind of part of the game. It's an old aspect of the game, you know. During the first 3 innings you are looking at what the catcher is signaling,
Yep.
so
Yep.
towards the end you know what's going to happen, but the other
Yeah.
team knows that you're looking at it, so they are changing their signals in the game. But that's part of the gamemanship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the teams understand this is happening. But what the Houston Astros did, what they had an algorithm running it, and they would put a buzzer on the players, so that when they knew a fastball up the middle was coming, they would buzz the players so the guy on the plate knew what was coming, or they would hit a trash can in the alleyway of the park. And in recording of the games you can hear something being beat. That's a signal to the batter that, hey, uh, a ball right up your alley is coming, swing, you know. And
Damn.
so that's how they knew, you know. But
And
other
that's the
teams,
illegal part.
oh yeah, 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 you're not allowed
Mhm.
Oh,
anytime you have any sort of a computer
you
or
right.
signaling to the batter, that's when it's absolutely, you are cheating, you know.
I remember watching this one thing where it was a team that had that speed thing on the bottom of their bat, and
Okay.
they told him it was illegal to use it because that was, cheating. But he said, they had to check the bat out because he liked the little silicone thing on it. It said it made him hit a little bit better, and
Right.
they allowed him to use the silicone piece, but he could not use that device, that little
On the
technology
bottom.
piece. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But damn, so they have buzzards.
And didn't they
Yeah.
win the
They brought
championship too?
They won that year. And that's why every time, I mean, even still, it was so huge in baseball that every time Houston comes to your local team, you're going to hear them get booed like incessantly. You know, like
damn.
it's nuts. And the thing is, like, there's the reason why is because when all these games are recorded, you can go back and look at these games and like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I do hear something when the batter's on the box, you know? So there's a video of Jose Altuve, who is the star of the Houston Astros. He hits a home run, you know, and he's come. I think it was a game winner. So he's rounding the bases, and as he's going to home, what they normally do is they pour the Gatorade on you. You're like, yeah, you
Hmm.
fucking did it, dude. And they'll like rip your shirt off, you know, pour Gatorade on you. And you can see him in slow mo holding his jersey closed, saying, no, don't, because he had the buzzer on him. He knew people would see it. Yeah.
Damn.
Mm.
And you can see him saying, no, don't do it, you know, and he jumps into the crowd, you know, at home plate. And when you look at it happening in real time, you're like, oh, you just don't want to get wet, you know. But knowing what we know
Once you,
now, they're
yeah,
like, oh, this motherfucker didn't want to get caught. You
what
know?
they say, hindsight 2020. You know all now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like the Chicago Black Sox. Like that's the thing. Like even though we hate this as fans of the sport, we want to believe that it's like all genuine, good,
For sure, for
above
sure.
bar sportsmanship. The scandal and the spice is kind of fucking fun. Like like understanding the lengths that some of these teams and players go to. Like it's kind of amazing, you know.
That makes sense, bro. Cause listen, right? I remember I took my uncle to a basketball game, and it was what was it? Pistons versus Milwaukee, and I think we won that match though, right?
Mm,
But or that game, um, we sat directly behind the team. It was this dude that was like 6'8". He when they do the little play and say go you go here, you do this. Bro, he blocked everything. He had like two more other guys that blocked like two other angles. So if you was behind him and tried to look, you couldn't see shit. You couldn't see shit at all.
mm.
That makes sense because they could easily pay for a ticket for anybody else to sit right there, radio you the shit across the court and let you know what's about to happen next.
And there's
Yeah.
cameras everywhere in that building too. So
That is
Yeah.
though. It is though. God.
Yep.
I kind of like the sneakiness, like a little
basketball is kind of
sassy
almost like baseball,
Double O
where if you
Seven.
knew to play, you can easily stop it in
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
At least
The
for
only,
as
the only
defensive wise. I mean, you still shoot or shoot, but
yeah.
still.
The only reason why, like, again, people, I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but the only reason why the baseball thing is still hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
It's really
It
small,
is.
yeah.
It's small and it moves like between 2 and 3 feet from where the pitcher let go of it and where it ends up. So the movement is insane. It's small and it's going 99 miles an hour. Even
Facts.
when you know what's coming, it's still nearly fucking impossible to hit a baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
baseball is the only sport where you can have a negative, like, percentage and be in the Hall of Fame. Like a
Yeah.
.36
Yeah.
is
Like
considered.
yeah, there are guys in the Hall of Fame that hit for 300, and so that basically means that if I throw 1,000 pitches, you're only hitting 300 of them, and you're in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's insane, you know?
In Call of Duty, you
You
ain't
had,
shit.
Yeah.
right, yeah. That's how I was just going to make that shit. Yeah, you can hit a
Man.
150 and you're up there, and they're all star.
God.
200.
Yeah, but it's insane. Like baseball is it's hard. So I kind of like, even though Houston was cheating, absolutely, I'm saying they're cheating, but for them to still be able to hit when what they called, that's still impressive, you know.
And
But
then
I
put
yeah,
it in
give you that.
perspective for baseball again, it is like 180 games.
yeah, it's a long season. Yeah,
And you talking about you might have fucking 20 games when you don't hit shit and still be
yeah.
in the Hall of Fame.
Hell, like baseball is the only sport. Well, you'll have back to back. You'll play one game at 3 o'clock, and then you're back on the field at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
peeped that shit before.
so you'll have one game where your team is on fucking fire. You win 11-2. The next game you lose 7-5. You know, like it's so unpredictable. Like everything has to go right for you to have a good season. So Houston, even though they cheated, even without the cheating, they're still a good ass
I'm
team. You
surprised
know,
they ain't stripped their title, but I don't know what they protocol is when it comes to that.
yeah,
Because
that's the thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, didn't Penn State get like a penalty of death or some shit where they program was fucked over because of that one coach?
That was different though. That wasn't
I mean, I know,
cheating.
I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different, but I forgot what was protocol for them to get
Well,
them
that one was because of Jerry Sandusky with the sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically Jerry Sandusky was an assistant coach with the University of Penn State, and he he ran a foundation with the school where he was helping underprivileged kids, but at the same time he was sexually abusing these kids. And no one knew about it, but the team did. The team had numerous chances where they could have over years
Intervene.
exposed and jailed this guy, but because
Fuck.
at the time this is when Joe Paterno was there. Joe Paterno was one
Mm-hmm.
of the Mount Rushmore head coaches of college football, and he didn't want anything to do with it. He'd rather just turn a blind eye. And then, yeah, they got the penalty of death, basically, where you're losing scholarships to give to guys for the next couple seasons. Your wins are being taken away
Yeah,
from
they
you.
stripped their wins, titles, all
Yeah.
that shit.
So yeah, that, and even like, again, there's other sports. There's UNLV did it with basketball. The Running Rebels in the 80s, they were cheating. And I mean, but that one wasn't on the court cheating. That one was financial. You know, they were paying players. You have what was that football team? SMU. They had the death penalty, basically, where they,
Mm-hmm.
again, that was financials. But
Are
yeah,
you
but
calling it the death penalty?
because the reason why these penalties are so hardcore, that they can end whatever legacy your team had. You know,
I
like,
think
Oh,
it was like 10 or 15 years that basically got wiped off.
yeah,
damn.
Penn State is good now. Penn State wasn't shit for a good 15 years because
Mm-hmm.
of the penalties they had. You know,
You couldn't get no kids. They like
yeah,
if they went to that school, they was paying out of pocket. And D1 schools, you paying damn
it,
near six figures
yeah,
before you know even graduate.
yeah.
And then with
Getting
football, for you to go and get in the NFL, you have to do 4 years.
yeah,
God.
getting scholarships taken away is it will make or break a season
Yeah,
for
all them
some of
kids had to
these
leave
bigger schools. Yeah.
because you got to think about it. Your tuition is $60K a semester, and it's two
Mm.
semesters in a year or a half a year.
Yep.
So you paying $120,000 at a D1 school. They took your scholarship away. What the fuck are you gonna do? A lot of these kids came from out of state, so they probably had to go back home, transfer to another school.
Damn.
Their whole
Yeah.
life had to get uprooted.
Yeah. For the most part, though, it seems like college sports, they, when it's found out, they will penalize harder than professional.
Okay.
Um, like the worst I've seen professional was probably the Chicago Black Sox. That's like, I want to say it's like in the 1920s World Series baseball. You had players betting on games and they were intentionally losing, you know?
I heard about shit like that. I did
Yeah.
hear about that shit
And
like
the thing
that.
is, with those players, they got lifetime bans. You can never play the sport again, you know?
Fuck.
So it was mostly on the players instead of the team itself, you know?
Okay, okay. They held that one. It was a
Yeah.
player by player account.
Yeah. But then
Oh,
you also have moments with like Pete Rose. Pete Rose was a Cincinnati Reds player, and he was betting on games, but he was betting on his team to win, you know, and that was a no-no. So Pete Rose should definitely be in the Hall of Fame, and he's banned for life. You know, he hasn't. Yeah,
wait. I'm always gonna bet on me. How
yeah,
the hell do I get fucked over for betting on me?
yeah.
Because you can
That's the thing.
skew some shit. Like
Well,
if
no.
go ahead.
He was betting on his team to win. You know, so it didn't matter what he was doing on the mound.
Oh, I see
So
what Pete talking about. It could be looking like you betting on your team to win because you know y'all got this cheating thing going on and y'all should win anyway, right?
But you can also make it to where, like, well, it might not be E's instance, but just say you was betting to win, but you skew the game so you make your team lose. So you put all your money into your team losing and shit like
well, no, no,
that.
But no,
well,
he
no, no.
was betting to win though.
Yeah, yeah. Pete Rose never bet on the Cincinnati Reds to lose.
No, I'm just
It
Which
saying
was
in that
always to
instance,
win.
he could have
Yeah, yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just
If you're,
that doubt.
yeah, that's what the Chicago Black Sox were doing. Is they were betting on them to lose the World Series because mob money got involved there. They were
I
approached.
heard a lot of that shit.
They were
Yeah.
approached by the mob to throw this World Series, and they did. A lot of players admitted to it. I think Shoeless Joe Jackson was one of the ones that never said he took any money. You know, but yeah, there's a lot of.
And to clarify that Penn State fine, I know it was a couple seconds past that, but they got $60 million in fines, a 4 year postseason ban. So if they made it to the postseason, they couldn't play for 4 years.
Yeah.
Scholarship reduction and vacancies of victories between 1998 and 2011. So 13 years of victories is gone. And
Wiped
that
out.
coach at the time at Penn State was the winningest coach in NCAA history.
Joe Paterno. Yep.
What the
So
Yep.
13 years, his basically damn his whole tenure is gone. All those wins, you basically
Uh,
post 1997 is where your
well,
shit
no,
back.
Yeah, for most coaches, yeah, but Joe Paterno was there. I want to say since the fucking 60s. Joe Paterno was there for a long ass time, so his tenure isn't entirely wiped out. Pretty
Mm.
much just when Jerry Sandusky was involved with the team. Uh,
That's
but
too
yeah,
much. I ain't gonna lie, that's too much.
but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, again, like I said, the fact that Penn State is kind of where it's at right now, it's fucking incredible. Like
Okay.
give all the athletic directors and the coaches that have gone in there and the players that were willing to play for them, even though you weren't getting any of the benefits like your teams paid for or your classes paid for, you
That's
know.
tough. That's dedication. Fuck that. I'm out.
Yeah.
Hell
So
no.
you
Damn.
got to give them credit. They definitely, I mean,
Because
they turned it around,
at
you
least
know.
in basketball, you can do one and done, and you can get to the pros, or you can just go straight to the G League.
Not
NFL,
NFL.
yeah, NFL,
Yeah.
you're stuck with 4 years
Yeah.
to
So why do
even.
they make it guaranteed for you have to do it for? I mean,
It's just the NFL. That's why they said in I say looser terms, they consider NFL the slavery of professional sports
I
because the
heard that a lot of
owners is
times.
like considered the owners, and they basically take voices away from the NFL players. For one, it's hard to get endorsements because you got a helmet on. For one,
Yeah.
and then if you and contracts are not fully guaranteed like how it is in NBA in
Mm-hmm.
baseball. So like if just say you signed $100 million deal and your guaranteed contract is only 30 million, you only 70 of that is up in the air
Yeah.
plus bonuses and all that shit. And you can always get let go, and that's you only getting that 30 mil. So if you
I
get
remember you
injured
always
at
put
any
me hip to
point,
this.
you are really fucked over. Unless you're like a superstar, if you get injured, you fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the big thing is that it's more physical. Like in the NBA or in basketball, there's hundreds of stories of guys that have gotten injured, but they come back and they're fine, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas in the NFL, an injury can make or break your career, you know. So if you can
Oh,
prove that you can go through 4 years of college eligibility and not get fucked up and, you know, forced out, then teams are willing to gamble with you, you know.
okay.
But if you are a guy that tears his ACL every Wednesday, then nope, sorry, you know, even after 4 years, you can't stay healthy. No team is going to take a
Yeah.
shot on
And
you,
it's
you know.
really fucked up because quarterbacks are the only position that really get leeway.
Mm,
Because like you know how people would say, "Oh, why didn't he just take a pay cut so the team can get better by giving money elsewhere?" Players is always going to try to take the max contract at any point because their contract is not guaranteed.
Okay.
Whereas a quarterback like Tom Brady, they always say he's infamous for taking pay cuts. Well, because he's the fucking quarterback. He's always going to
yeah.
have the ball in his hands.
Well, not only
Everybody
that,
else is.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say every other position is quarterback dependent. So you can be the best receiver, but if you never get the ball thrown to you, they gonna fucking kick your ass off the fucking team. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, it must be something wrong."
Yeah. But also quarterbacks, they because they are the face of the team and sometimes the league, like Patrick Mahomes, those guys, they sometimes can make more money off the court than or off the field than on because of their endorsements. Whereas a lineman is maybe getting an offer to, hey, will you be in my, you know, car dealership commercial?
Being
No one's asking a lineman to be in a movie or a
a
TV
lineman
show,
is a
you know?
very thankless position, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
No, they get no love.
yeah. But yeah,
Fuck.
sports.
Wait, before we leave sports, I know we about to switch it off. Did y'all see that shit, that hockey shit that happened last night?
I heard
Yeah,
somebody died.
prayers up. Yeah.
Bro,
I didn't see
yeah.
it though.
Prayers out to that man. I saw one angle where you couldn't see it clearly, and then somebody posted it like they had a really good camera, like a Samsung 100 zoom type shit. And they say it's an accident, but the way it looked when he was coming into him, he purposely lift his leg, like try to like, it looked like he tried to like swan dive into him, but the leg got him first. And the blade cut his shit so deep when he got down, you know how you be like, you don't notice how damaged you are until you finally see it. He got down and instantly dropped like this and was like, what the fuck? And it was a pool of blood on the ground.
Yep.
And when
Mm.
he was walking, it was just pouring. Like it was not enough time for doctors to get to him to even fix on it. It was pouring so much at once they had to abandon the game, tell everybody to leave because it could have fucked you up mentally because you was about to watch a man die.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
The
if
player's
they
name,
didn't rush him out fast enough, you was gonna watch him on the
yeah,
on the ice.
yeah. The player's name is
Gone.
Adam Johnson. He
Yeah,
like Red said, took a skate to the throat. And again, it's not the first time it's happened. It's
man.
the most vivid time I can remember. It was a goalie. Can't remember his name, but the goalies used to not have protection for the neck area, and then
Oh,
there was basically a bum rush at the goalposts. He gets tackled, and then not intentional at all, completely accidental, he takes a skate to the jugular. Refs were able to come in with towels. He was able to live, like he survived. He lost a lot of blood, but he survived. But after that, the goalies were then given under their helmets, there is an attachment that
yeah.
protects
I
the neck.
peeped.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
peeped. Yeah.
And it's because of that one instance. Players for the most part, hockey players are some of the toughest guys to play any sport. You know, they'll break a finger, they'll be spitting out teeth, and they'll put me back in.
Yep. Yep.
And those guys don't really have any protection for the neck, so it is a freak thing. So yeah,
Ain't
it's
no
sad to
protection
see.
in that. Hell no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and people like to see them fight. They love to see that type of
yeah.
shit.
Well, hell, I mean, it happens all the time, but it doesn't get any attention. But these guys are hitting slap shots, and they're hitting dudes. You're taking a small rubber puck, going 115 miles an hour, to the
Mm-hmm.
chest, and you got minimal padding. So these guys are
Yeah,
tough.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's again, in any in any sporting situation where a player dies, it's sad.
for sure.
And
For
he was only
sure.
29 too.
Yeah.
Yep. His mama her little word she said was like, I lost half my heart today.
Yeah.
And I felt that, like, with us losing my sister, my mama said the same thing like that too. So a mother
Hmm.
losing a child, because they say it's supposed to be the other way around. The child's supposed to bury the parent, but
Mm-hmm.
for the parent to bury their own child that they birthed, that shit hit different. God.
Yeah, when you spend a lot
Yeah.
of time and over decades to build a connection, that shit is hard to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, seeing as we're on this, not to be too sad, but were you guys a friend or a fan of the show Friends back in the day?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That is fucking surprising to me. Holy shit!
Really?
I thought you guys were gonna say no.
I mean, you used to always come on late
Bro.
nights and shit when you getting ready to go to bed, and it just wasn't shit to come
Yeah.
on. I had
I
basic
didn't have
TV.
cable. I
Yeah,
was on.
yeah,
I was
Yeah.
on
yeah,
it.
yeah. It was that. It was
I like
Friends,
Phoebe and Joey.
King of Queens. Only thing.
Right.
Ooh.
The TBS lineup.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I ain't care for Seinfeld, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it was that humor was past my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Friends was huge in my family. Like we watched it all the time, and there was uh, kids today aren't going to realize this, but there were literally shows that you waited to watch every night, like The
Mm-hmm.
Simpsons. Friends. You mentioned Seinfeld, but Friends was the one that like resonated in my household.
Okay.
So yeah, Matthew Perry. For those that are unaware, passed away yesterday, drowning in Los Angeles. Really sad. Matthew Perry, out of the original cast of Friends, he was the one that had probably the most troubles off screen. He suffered from drug addiction while he was filming the show. He wrote a book recently, and he said that there are seasons from the show that he doesn't remember anything of because he was
Mm.
intoxicated the entire time. But he was clean and sober. He kicked it. It looked like we
That's
were
good
going
for
to
him.
see kind of a renaissance of, oh, this actor's coming back and they're going to be doing stuff now. And we're not going to get that. And it's
hmm
sad. It sucks.
Yeah.
For the '90s kids out there. Yeah.
God.
yeah, it's tough.
I always like those. What's that shit they do? The reunions, the episodes like that.
Mm.
That was one of the ones I low key would have watched, like a reunion season, something like that. Just to see where everybody made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did y'all used to watch that '70s show?
Bro, I was about to bring that up. I ain't gonna lie, but it's so off topic. I was about to bring. God.
Yeah, I used to watch that shit.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Again, problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude in
with the
jail too.
with the Danny
Bro.
Masterson and the Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Yeah,
Yeah. But
messy.
did you peep though? The one that's in prison for the
The rape.
I about to say essays, but you know, the rape charges. Did you peep on one of the was it Monday night or midnight on one of them talk shows? He said, I heard a lot about you and you're
Yeah,
going to get caught. He
yeah,
was calling it out, bro.
Mm.
Cause you know everybody talk when they in that type of shit. Did you hear about this? You hear about that? Everybody's connected in Hollywood. That's why they be saying once they get his hands on you, you locked in.
yeah,
But bro, he said it on TV. I heard about you. And
yeah,
I hope you get caught. And I hope he was talking his shit, but he didn't leak it, but he was talking his shit. And then finally came out. You know, they got his ass.
yeah. Hollywood's kind of it's messy that way. In that
Bro, I
Mm-hmm.
was just gonna say that.
every
God damn.
everyone knows what everyone is doing, but
Yep.
you are kind of if you don't say anything, you're kind of okay. Here is some uh not real currency. You know, you look better because you're not causing waves. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, look at Bill Cosby. You know, Hannibal Buress was legit doing stand up jokes about it. Everyone knew that Bill Cosby was doing this shit. No one said anything.
Damn.
You know, it wasn't until Hannibal Buress said that joke that people were like, "What?" And then people kind of looked
Wait a
into
minute. Wait
it.
a minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everyone, people in Hollywood, everyone knows what you're doing. And
Mm.
even Harvey Weinstein, another good example.
For sure. For sure.
Everybody knew. Like Salma Hayek was filming a movie about Freda Pinta, who is a Mexican artist, and Harvey Weinstein was the main producer of the film. He was shoehorning really weird, unnecessary nude scenes because Salma Hayek was going to be in it. Salma Hayek agreed to it because this was a passion project. This was the one movie she ever wanted to do,
Yeah.
and she did it for the movie. You know, Harvey Weinstein was doing that shit all the time. But
He
everybody
wanted to
knew
see her.
that it was easier to not say anything.
God.
And shit, that's what they're saying. You guilty by omission, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't deal with that type of shit, bro. I'm swinging on you.
Why you hit the shit?
Yeah,
Well, no,
you
that
feel me?
it happened with. Do you guys know Brendan Fraser? He's kind of had his kind of resurgence. He got a Best Actor, not Academy Award for the movie The Whale. He was in the Mummy
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
movies.
yeah, I
yeah.
know he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The reason why he kind of disappeared was because this happened years ago, shortly after his last films that were really big. But he was at like a gala with a bunch of Hollywood snobs, actors and executives and that kind of thing. And there was an executive there that kind of was aggressively coming on to him, like pinching his ass, like coming on hard to him. And he was like, whoa, pushed him off. And then because he made a big deal about it, got blacklisted. We're not going to put you in
Mm-hmm.
movies anymore. And it wasn't until a year or two ago that he kind of felt comfortable to come back. And that's why he's like, every time you see a Brendan Fraser, acceptance speech or talking on a talk show, he's emotional about how much
Yes.
people were still rocking with him when he came
Mm-hmm.
back, because he
Mm-hmm.
thought that the executives
Nobody
were,
fucked with him.
yeah, he
Yeah.
thought that he was crazy.
Didn't that shit happen to Terry Crews? Like he said he was getting
Yeah,
touched and
they
shit.
came on to
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Terry,
yep.
it happened to Terry Crews as well. But yeah, you
And it's
gotta,
crazy how Hollywood got that hold, bro. Cause even take it back to it's not as old as it's a little bit older though, but take it back to the Dave Chappelle one.
yeah.
When they said he
Oh,
made too much money
he's
and they was
crazy,
going
and he's crazy
oh,
and going to
uh,
Africa. It's like,
yeah, he was on
what?
crack or coke or something like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck uh Cat Williams said, he was like, by the time you got off this phone call and you make it to your house, everybody that know and loved you is gonna know you was addicted to drugs and you was crazy and you was going to Africa.
Mm.
Just because we was gonna give you, was it 5 million when we promised you 50 million because you made too much money?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do I make too much money and you give me pennies?
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
feel me?
Yeah. I
And
mean, even look at Jonathan Major's situation. We've kind of talked about that
yeah,
a couple times, but like
yeah,
there has been nothing proven yet. There is going to be a court case. There is
hmm,
nothing proven yet. And already people are talking about Disney really needs to look into the future of their Marvel movies because they need to plan on not having Jonathan Majors in it. He's a
yeah.
problem. Nothing's been proven yet. And they're
Sh-
acting like we need to cut him off,
And they already canceled like 5 of his movies coming up already.
Yeah.
But
He had,
not
go
Disney,
ahead.
but everybody else. Yeah,
Yeah. So I
So I
mean
but
that power that they have is insane.
yeah.
so I got a question. So you know how you were saying Cat Williams was talking about Dave Chappelle and all that shit. So you know how, well, it's not what people say. You can actually see it. But Orlando Brown, you know how he was telling stories behind the curtain in Hollywood,
Mhm.
like what's
Yeah,
really going on and shit, and people getting
yeah.
raped and all that shit to stay relevant and all that shit. So is, how can I say, is Hollywood trying to, or is the mainstream media trying to make him out to be looking like the crazy one, so nobody actually believe that he's telling the truth?
It could be.
Kind of
It's
like one of
I
happened.
those
It's happened.
Illuminati things where
yeah.
he was a part of it, and then he's like, oh no, I see the real shit. I don't want to be a part of it no more. So now they try to make him out to be a crackhead and all that shit.
I do believe he saw some shit. You know, a lot of times child actors get addicted to drugs, you feel
Mm.
me? But a lot of times also it's the, if you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get that.
Yeah, dress up as a
So,
woman and
Yeah.
all that
yeah.
shit.
And a lot of them cope with drugs. You feel me? I still want to be relevant because when you make it, you doing acting for 20, 30 years and now you get blackballed, blacklisted. What the fuck you gonna do? Grocery, ring up groceries or something? That
Yeah.
that's all they know now is
Well,
acting. It's nothing
and,
to go to.
and that's a hard thing, especially for a child actor, because it's
Yep,
like,
yep.
okay, you were playing the comedic relief where you as a person and as an actor, you peaked when you were 17 years old.
Yes.
You were the comedic relief for, let's say your show went on for 6 seasons, for 6 years. Are you really expecting to be the leading role in an action film? You know, at that point, Hollywood's like, no, 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 you did what you needed to do. See ya.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to a
Yeah,
different
they use
guy
you up and
that kind of
spit you out.
fills that role a little bit better.
Yeah. You're too old now. You can't be the teenager anymore.
Yeah, but like to what you were saying about like Orlando Brown kind of, you know, going behind the curtain and exposing it, it's been done. Like
Yeah, for
Corey
sure.
Corey Feldman, who was in the Goonies, big 80s child actor. He was doing an interview with Barbara Walters. Everyone was, I'm not a big Barbara Walters fan, but she's a big reporter back in the day. He was doing an interview when he was saying, like, I've been sexually assaulted by executives in Hollywood and I will name them. And then she was like, why are you doing this? Like, you're damaging an industry, putting the blame on him. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, I didn't want to be raped and sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is what's happening in Hollywood, and you're painting me as the bad guy.
Right.
You should be coming to me for the scoop.
Hmm.
Like
And
Courtney Love, she came out and said that Harvey Weinstein was gross and doing this shit on nighttime talk shows, and she's an alcoholic. She's crazy. Oh, Courtney's going nuts again. So I mean, they
who's the
they will suppress when they need to.
yeah, who's the girl from iCarly? The one with the blonde hair.
Oh, I know,
Uh
I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
She just had a
she said
book.
the producer used to make all the feet jokes was because he had a foot fetish.
Yeah, yeah, that's Notorious.
Yeah.
Schneider, was it Dan
Yeah.
Schneider?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, Dan Snyder. That's it.
yeah.
There you go.
Every single Nickelodeon TV show that he produced, there's for some reason an episode where all the female cast members take their socks off,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of feet. A lot of
Yeah, Jeanette
They had
inappropriate
to
McCurdy.
literally
touching.
like visibly on camera type shit.
Yeah,
Cause that's his little spank bank.
Yeah,
but
it
the
was
thing is,
Jeanette McCurdy. That's what you're talking about.
yeah, Jeanette McCurdy. Yeah, her book recently. She has a book right now that came out, I think, a year or two ago, called "I'm Glad My Mom Died." Um,
Oh.
because her mom was kind of manipulating her to keep doing these Nickelodeon shows when she didn't
Oh yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
I get it. I get it.
But in her book, she basically goes in depth of like she wasn't fucking with the whole Hollywood thing but she was kind of forced into it by her mom, you know?
She stood on that shit though. She stood
Yeah.
on that shit. I can't say that much.
Yeah. But again, with the Dan Schneider thing, every single thing he touched was gold. You know, every single show idea that he came with to Nickelodeon about was
Mhm.
one of their best shows. iCarly was one of them, you know,
Yeah.
like he could not miss, you know, but he is gross, you know, like
Yeah.
he's doing weird shit with kids, you know. There's actually
Yeah.
did you guys ever watch the show Ned's Declassified
Yes, sir.
School Survival Guide? There's a podcast right now. They have a podcast right now. All the main three cast of that show. So you had Ned, you had the girl and the guy that were his best friends. They
Yeah.
kind of are. It's a good podcast because it's nostalgic if you grew up with that show like I did. But they talk about like some of the weird shit. Like we were being treated as adults, but we were 16 and 14 years old. You know, so it's kind of a weird kind of dynamic to have when you're working as a child. You know.
Yeah, that shit tough. Um, I mean, it's like when you grow up and you see that your child has a talent and you want to put them in that type of, he or she into that type of limelight. A lot of times parents only see the money. So if their kids is telling them, "Hey, this is what's happening to me," you know, a lot of parents like, oh, they see them $10,000 checks coming every 2 weeks. They're like,
Right.
"Oh no, that shit ain't happening." You know, just tough it up, suck it up. And then when it come out when they adults and they really, you know, told your ass, now they don't have no relationship with you. Now you're over there sitting looking stupid while your child got all the fucking money, and they just left your ass out the, you know, be high and dry
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
know you ain't believing from the jump.
Yep. Like Ned's Declassified, not Ned's Declassified, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I
Yeah.
think he either killed his mama or he was planning on killing her. And no, I think he did. He got life in prison.
Yeah.
I don't know their relationship, but
Yeah. If
some
you,
shit is going on behind there, bro. That's
yeah,
tweaking people out.
there's a deep dive anyone can do if they want to just how fucked up a lot of child actors kind of like the
Yeah.
only ones that really kind of came out were like from our generation. I'm gonna say like Hillary Duff, surprisingly fine, you know, and then you have like Ariana Grande, she made it, you know, but
Do you
then if you
consider
look at
Drake
the
as a child star because of Degrassi?
no.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
shit, he was still part of Degrassi. He was a little. I
but
mean, he was a
but that
kid.
was that was a Canadian TV show. That wasn't American.
Okay.
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
but like Britney Spears,
No, she
Britney
fucked.
Fucked
Spears,
up.
She fucked.
Fucked up.
Britney Spears. You had the guy that was on the Hannah Montana show. He kind of lost it. DUIs are crazy. Like
Yes,
the
that's very true.
the cast of one of the guys recently got in trouble from Home Improvement. One of the young kids on that one. So I mean, a lot of the like you said, a lot of these guys they kind of they peak and then they try to chase that high again of how can I get
Mm-hmm.
back on top. And a lot of times it's you're going to be doing a lot of shit you don't want to do that makes you look bad,
You're gonna
but
be
it's
on
going to keep
Tubi, sir.
you in Hollywood. Just do it.
Yeah.
And at a certain point you're like, "Man, today fucking sucked, but I'm still in Hollywood. Let me hit these pills, you
I'm
know.
living this life. Yep.
Let me drink, you know, let me yeah, it's sad. It sucks."
Fuck. And that's what even let's bring it down more to our level, bro. It's not even the if you want to bring it down more to us, it's YouTubers.
Yeah.
YouTubers be bro sacrificing everything just to keep that high going up and up and up and up. It's not even just the hey guys, hello guys. It's the what's the next crazier thing I can do just to be on top. And when
Yeah.
they fall off, they go left as fuck
Yeah.
Was
just to
it?
try to get that.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Fredo or some shit.
Bro, they be setting up friends just to
No,
get the views.
yeah,
Like,
not to pivot too hard, but have you guys watched any of the what's his name, Kai Cenat?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
His prison stream? Have you been watching that?
No, I ain't
Not
watching
yet, not
that.
yet. I just
I
saw the
got, I got
clip of it today.
I got to be honest. That's a good fucking idea.
Yeah.
Like just the premise of that of okay, I'm gonna build a fake prison. It's gonna run like that, and it's gonna live stream the entire thing. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good idea. That's a good fresh idea. You know.
I won't say fresh. Mr. Beast did it for 24 hours.
He did. Yeah. Mr. Beast
Yeah.
is kind of like the Simpsons of YouTubers nowadays.
Bro, ain't he though?
Yeah.
He
He's always done it first.
He got ultra money, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, something different.
There's the clip you can look up where he was doing an interview and someone asked him like, okay, this company approached him. I think it was $5 million for the Mr. Beast brand.
Yeah.
Now the Mr. Beast brand is chocolate, burger restaurants, the YouTube, every single Mr. Beast YouTube, and they offered him $5 billion and he turned it down. And he was like, it's worth at least 10, with the amount of views, the amount of people that, are invested in the Mr. Beast stuff. Like, he goes, it's worth at least 10. And that's nuts for a kid that kind of started with, just regular, oh, we're going to give this guy on Twitch $20. And that's how it started. And then look where he's at now. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember a financial person reviewed that video and he said if the projection keeps going up there, this can easily be $400 billion at a certain amount of time after a certain amount of years. And I said, bro, what the fuck he just say? He said, yeah, they lowballed the fuck out of me. He was like, I will never sell this brand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 400 billion, bro?
He does a lot of those videos where, like a Lamborghini, he'll have like 30 people, like last one to take their hand off the Lamborghini gets it. And he said, he goes, if I die, that's what my friend, like whoever wants the channel, that's what they have to do of his friends. Because he's gonna give it to his friends. He was like, whoever takes their hand off my casket last has the Mr. Beast brand. And I was like, that's G shit,
That really is though. I'm passing the torch to you. You know what to do. You've been with me for this long.
Yeah.
Just keep that shit rolling.
Yep. But we are good on time, guys. So we're going to call it there. This has been Off the Top with Eric, Paris, and Red. I'm your host, Eric, and joining me today were...
Boy P.
And it's your boy, Red.
All right, guys. We will talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Gang, gang.